do you then go all in on a guy like Mike McCarthy? The Bears rolled out the red carpet for Mike McCarthy. I talked about this yesterday. The Bears flew him in private.
I heard they
picked
took
him
him
up.
I heard they took him to an
we
adult.
Take him out to dinner.
Took him to Steak and Shake.
Take
What
him
happened?
out to dinner.
I heard, but it's not confirmed. They took him to an adult entertainment.
They took him to see some adult entertainment.
They took him to adult entertainment. On private source, not confirmed, but they took him to an adult entertainment.
Shout out to Mike McCarthy out here going out
sealing the deal.
Wait, is that man married?
Is Mike McCarthy hitting polecats? Is that what you said?
Hey, I'm not going to say where, but I said under some information I got.
I know what polecats is because of the billboard I drive past to get here every day.
Right,
that's why you shut your mouth. You know my type of hitting polecats. You know what I'm looking for, not in polecats.
That's hilarious.
But no, do you
power season. Steak and Shake is fire.
My whole thing about this is we've never seen them wine and dine a coach like that. Right?
Yeah.
Seems like they're interested.
Good point.
Seems like they're heavily interested in Mike McCarthy.
That man.
I think they're making sure that their plan B works. I think that's what it is.
But
they make sure they're back.
And that's my point. If he's plan B,
I don't think he was playing.
And you're getting he was playing A.
They didn't know what he was going to do.
He was the first person they reached out to interview.
He was playing A.
They didn't know.
I don't think he was playing A.
If he was getting resigned.
I do think he was the plan B.
I thought Vrabel was playing A. Ben was like a A.
Vrabel was up there with
Vrabel was 1A. Ben
was
like 1B.
No.
And then
Ben's always been one. Ben's always been one.
Ben,
You're right though. Vrabel was up there.
Vrabel was up there, and it was just like, hey, they've raved about him so much.
I think here's the
why aren't the comments come up in there?
Because we're on OBS, though. You're having a stroke.
I'm having a stroke.
Right.
We got another super chat. Alex Houston said, "Hey guys, does Arch Manning come out of when does Arch Manning come out of college? Could the Raiders be setting things up to get him?
Arch Manning come out. Arch Manning got 2 more years till he comes out of college.
Quinn Ewers still got to get
I'll say this: I can guarantee he will be ruined by the Bears in about 2 years. But the thing is, if he's your B, if he's the guy that you believe can get this right, and I do think he can. I love the culture that he can build, that he built in Dallas. You look at the players that he had down there. They were sad to see him go. You look at the talent that he had down there. We were sad to see him not accomplish more down there. But when you look at scheme, when you look at wins in the season, when you look at development of players, Mike McCarthy checks all those boxes.
Yep.
I'm fine with Mike McCarthy being that guy. If you already believe he's your guy, do you just go all in on Mike McCarthy? Because he is going to interview with the Saints. You may not have the time to wait because the second he gets down there, they're going to know this is the best chance we got at getting one of these top head coaches. It's Mike McCarthy or Matt Nagy.
You do what New England did.
Do not let that man leave.
You do what New England did. New England pulled out no stops. That was a guy they committed. There's no need to interview anybody else. We want you. You make a decision, you move on.
The fact is offensive minded. He has the system. He's the fact that you've coached MVP caliber and actual MVP quarterbacks. You've got Dak to a certain point. He had Favre at the end of his career. He had Rodgers on a run. And now you get a young guy that emulates Rodgers.
12th most wins all time.
He's over 60% winning percentage. And the Cowboys like, we're good. Thank you.
Yeah.
And now we got a real coach to come in here. I am fine with it. And now I got somebody for my quarterback.
Didn't say McCarthy already looked like he's from Chicago.
he does look. He has a Chicago look.
Well, listen, he was in Green Bay all that time.
Right,
he was pulling up.
Yeah.
He's pulling up.
Ain't nothing to do with Green Bay.
We got one more super chat from Clueless. He said, any defensive-minded coach needs to be off the list except Tomlin, Ben Johnson, Monken, McCarthy, Brady, and maybe Cliff. Tomlin being the number one option.
Monken is not defensive.
Yeah, Monken is an offensive coach.
He said any defensive-minded coach needs to be off the list.
Oh, I got you.
I thought you said accept all these names.
Listen, okay, I'm telling y'all this right now. Aaron Glenn's going to be a good head coach.
I do agree with that.
Head coach.
I loved his answer when he mentioned, what matters more. He said it's about coaching. He understands the offense as well as the defense. I like that answer.
And see, I think here's the thing for me. Yeah, every defensive coach says that. Matty Eberflus said the same thing. He was capping.
Oh, I didn't hear Matt.
He was capping.
I definitely didn't hear.
One of the first things Matty Eberflus said. No, but here's my thing. The reason I want Aaron Glenn is because if the Bears were to go that route is because Aaron Glenn seems like the kind of guy, and based on kind of what people have said about him around the league, people I've talked to, he seems like the kind of guy who is not there just for the quarterback, understands the quarterback has to be important, has to be the most important, understands you have to protect him, but he's the guy that puts a team together. Now, the reason why I would have Mike McCarthy over him is because I've seen Mike McCarthy do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I've seen what I think Aaron Glenn will do. I know Mike McCarthy can do. Now, the tough part about that is Mike McCarthy, 63 years old, 61 years old.
Yeah.
That's the right age.
Probably not getting
not
him.
bad.
Probably not getting him till he's 71. He's probably not getting 10 years out of Mike McCarthy here.
Why am I worried about a decade from now?
Yeah, I ain't
But
worried about
that's
no team.
Why am I?
Give me-
Why do I
give me a
care?
five-
Why do I care?
Well, because
It's a decade from now.
Say,
Why
let's
do I-
just get the ball
Why do I
rolling.
care what happens with my daughters out the house at this point?
Get the
Like,
ball
what are we
rolling.
talking about?
listen,
They
here's the
never
thing.
leave.
You know how 60 is, and let's not look at Mike and say he's the pinnacle of health here.
Oh, you talking about Mike?
Andy
You know,
Reid?
I don't
Andy
think he
Reid
was
still
trying to
going?
be.
Andy Reid still go. You pair him. You got a young quarterback that is coachable. He can have a run. It could revitalize his career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have another. There's another super chat from with Dre Day. He says Slowick is the KOC of this coaching class.
Is the who?
KOC. I'm slow.
KOC.
I don't know what KOC means.
Hey, dog, you can't
gotta
hit us with the
educate me.
acronyms that we don't know.
You gotta educate me.
Yeah.
And then Papa do that, dad. Papa do that, dad. I would rather have Mike McCarthy than Ben. Sure, Ben is a great play calling, but we all remember Matt Nagy, right? If McCarthy is John Fox 2.0, I would
let's
love
not do that.
with this
Let's not do
team.
that.
I'll take it.
Let's not do that. We're not calling Ben Johnson Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy called 3 games and F1 of them up.
He effed it up when he was in there. Yeah.
Matt Nagy called 3 games.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, and F'd one of them up.
He didn't have 3 years.
Ben
of
Johnson has
offensive
been
success.
calling the offense
Yeah.
for 3 straight seasons,
It's his system.
no
and he is legitimately dominated.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do that. I get it. This, you know what this has become, and this is what I did.
Oh, Kevin O'Connell.
Oh, KOC, Kevin O'Connell. Okay, shout out. I was like,
How were we supposed to get that?
I mean,
Yeah. That was tough, man. Help us out, man.
Why didn't you just
no,
say
but
Kevin O'Connell?
but here's my thing. Don't turn this into now Ben Johnson is the worst name because it seems like he's not going to come here. Because if Ben Johnson comes here, we're still going to be excited.
You know that's what they're gonna do.
Let's not do that. That's what this is becoming
what
here, and
people is
I
gonna
don't
do.
think that's the answer.
I don't think that.
Here's my question on McCarthy, and then I do want to get to the divisional rounds here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, showing love. If you believe McCarthy's your guy, you doing the rest of the interviews?
No.
Done.
Are you talking to the rest of the people?
No.
I'm ready to
Monk is my last interview. That's tomorrow.
There's a lot of names on this list that are still good
It's
names.
9
Joe
more.
Brady,
It's
Todd
9 more.
Monken.
No.
You say it's not
really.
anymore?
It's 9 more.
9 more?
Well, there's
9
9 more
more.
names on the list. There's
Yes.
not 9 good names.
Cut.
There's 9 more names on the
more,
list.
Yeah,
it's
trust
more
me,
than a
there's a
hand.
few
It's,
that
it's
can
more
leave.
than 2 fingers, 3 fingers worth of good names left.
The thing
Listen to
is that
You still talking about football,
your
right?
coach
Yes, sir.
it gets in
Yeah,
place.
3 fingers.
He's in
Is
place.
Mike at the top of that list?
Hold
Mike-
on.
Okay, you
What you were
right.
saying, Joe?
What? Oh, I'm saying you get Mike in. Now he's in well before the combine. He gets his staff in place. You're ready to hit the ground rolling. Because I don't know where they are. Is it the top, the worst 2 teams that get to coach the East-West game, right? Or sometimes some teams are invited, so they're the first ones to hit the ground running to coach the.
I didn't even know
the
that.
college.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
That's how. Yeah, that's how. Poles was scouting some certain guys. That's how.
Well, Paul scouted it, but I don't think it's the. Is it the worst?
They invite
Oh,
some
that's
of the.
right. Flus did coach it, didn't he?
Yeah, they invite some of the worst.
forgot
The
about
Giants were coaching.
Yeah, Flus did
Good
coach.
So I don't
Good
know
point.
if we're in that
Yeah.
situation, but the point is that to get the
That's
staff
so
in,
not beneficial to
Why
young
would you
players.
do
and
that?
because you get a chance to scout the.
'Cause you
It's,
get a chance
it's the
to
third
scout the
rounders,
team,
the
yeah.
fourth rounders, the fifth rounders. You get to see guys up
Yeah.
close versus just on tape. So I don't know if that puts them in position for that, but I'd rather have this guy in place. It's January, so by February he's ready to go for combine. Because if you wait, basically now, I mean, after this week, if the Lions win, let's say if they even make it to the Super Bowl, you're not getting in position till
Almost
2
March.
weeks before the combine starts, or maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, I think here's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's true.
You're not going to be able to interview Ben Johnson again if Mike
No.
McCarthy's your 1B.
Give me Mike.
I'm taking Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You're taking Mike. That don't mean they want him. They probably want Ben.
Who's that? Oh, you
The
mean
Bears.
Stop.
The Bears probably want Ben.
And
if that is the case, now listen, they would hear, right? If Ian Rappaport's hearing these things, the Bears are hearing these things as well. I would think, though, if you're going after your 1A, you got to at least get an opportunity. You're not going to do that until he's eliminated from the playoffs. You got to at least get an opportunity to slide a blank check across the table and go, you want it? No? All right.
I got a question for
I'm not whining and dining anybody and taking you out for a steak dinner if you're not really one of my top picks. I'm sorry. No, you know how I feel.
No, but that's what regular teams do. I know steak means a lot to you.
We can get married after you take me out for it.
By the way, you've been keeping.
9.9, buddy.
Actually, 9.7.
Oh,
you put up 4 points last night.
It's okay.
Okay.
By extension, I'll take a bit of a steak too.
That's okay.
Rookie ride.
I can't wait. I'm Bavette's. Maybe a time.
Hey, Gucci finesse. I'm not gonna lie, that's not a bad call. I don't know if I can say that though, because Mike's players love him. He said Mike's the Doc Rivers of the NFL.
No, he's not.
No,
he's not.
Well, Doc is
because everybody's around Mike for winning one Super Bowl, but it's like you all realize
Super Bowls are a lot harder to win than NBA championships.
It's only 14 coaches who have multiple Super Bowls in the history of the Super Bowl era, and y'all talking about we only has one. If you don't shut that trash up,
though, there's so much that goes into a team. It's the GM. It's the scouting. Can they get players when they get old? Can they turn over the team? Sometimes the message gets old or you're not able to have sustained greatness. And then so McCartney has the Packers situation. That whole defense was cold, and most of them all got hurt. And only Aaron Rodgers stuck around. He goes to Dallas, and now you got a meddling owner that they've had a level of success.
Owner.
I mean, but then again, they got a 4th-round quarterback. Yep. No one expected Dak to do what he was doing, and because they were all in on Tony Romo. Now Mike comes after. He comes after all that, but he got Dak to a point where Dak was.
That's Jason Garrett. What was your question, Drew? You asked a question earlier.
I was. My question was that we all talk about the Bears doing different. If the Bears do different, since Lovie Smith, every coach we've hired was mostly first-year head coaches. If we want to do something different, we got to move past Ben Johnson and go to Mike McCarthy, plain and simple. If all of the chat, all of Bears fandom is saying do something different, that means we have to get a proven coach.
I think though, but here's
John
the thing.
Fox was hired,
but you also have to look at the NFL. Most of these mugs that we talk about that we're excited about right now are the young, up and coming hot names.
New guys.
Sean McVay,
no experience.
Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan was a name that was on fire when he came out. Kevin O'Connell.
Trust me.
Matt LaFleur.
Mike
McDaniel.
Eberflus.
No, I get you.
I think it's 50-50.
But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing.
But we struck out 3 times.
If you had brought in,
that's what I say.
If you had brought in a Dan Quinn, are you in this position, right? I think it also goes to the personnel that you bring in the room. It's also what you give a guy. The one thing that I like about Mike McCarthy is I know what his draft rooms look like. He drafts players that make impacts.
Yep.
That's another thing that I like. I don't know if I wipe the slate clean though. If I've got my number one guy, it don't mean it's right. But if I've got my number one guy, I'm going after my number one guy.
Yeah.
I would feel worse if I took Mike McCarthy, just cleared everybody else out. I slid the check across to Mike McCarthy, said, "Welcome to the Bears." And Ben Johnson was like, well, you didn't give me a chance to come back. I wanted to be there. That's a swing and miss you can't have. If he's your guy.
Does time really matter in this?
Absolutely.
He
might go down to New Orleans and not come back.
So, no, my question is this. From a timing perspective, you hire him now, he gets to start working on a team now, as opposed to hiring Ben and you're behind the 8 ball, like you said earlier.
Oh no, it could be done.
Listen, he's already breaking down the draft and stuff like that. He has to be doing these.
No, but we're talking about hiring staff and all that stuff.
Well,
he
got one. He's going to bring his whole.
He's probably bringing his boy.
You think so?
Yeah, half of them.
That's what a lot of them do. Yeah, that's what a lot of them do.
A lot of his guys are not re-signed.
Yeah.
Actually, we got another
that whole team is out of contract. That's what I was talking to somebody that was in the Dallas media, and they were talking about, it was very uneasy down there this year. Like it was like, yo, we getting paid or what's going on? Like it's very, and they said Mike McCarthy talked about like it's difficult to coach like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I got a job next year. Mm-hmm. Right. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm doing all this. I'm investing everything into you, and you might get rid of me, and they did.
Right. But that's Jerry. If what he wants to do with squad.
Yeah.
We go. Miguel Goncalves says we.
Goncalves.
Shout out to Miguel. He said we need to come to grips with the fact after 40 years of institutional dysfunction, this is no longer a place quality head coaches think as a premier job.
Yeah.
Chasing greatness for 40 years has gotten us nowhere.
Yeah.
There's another one in here somewhere.
I agree with that. When I tell you what I say, we're gonna end up with Brian Flores.
No, we're not.
No,
because of connection. Because of connection.
Let's cancel all interviews now.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's gonna be a miss.
Let's cancel interviews now.
That's a miss.
I'll live with it, but that's not what I want.
Well, listen,
I'm not living with Brian Flores.
He's not a
top.
top
whatever coach they give you until they
don't live with
I can hang up my
now that would be
hang it up.
Like a GM malpractice.
I can hang it up. You won't. I've been at it for over 4 years.
We're not going to leave this Bears.
That would be malpractice.
If he comes here, we're going to get a good defense. The whole issue is it's just a cycle all over again. What offensive coordinator you going to bring in? Yes. All that type of stuff. Dan Tanner got a super chat. Shout out to Dan Tanner. He said, did Reid win a Super Bowl before he got to the Chiefs? McCarthy comparison.
He went to one.
No.
He went to one.
He lost with the TO to the Patriots, and then he walked right over.
Wait a minute. He did. Didn't he win one with San Francisco?
I think he won as an assistant.
NFC.
He won as an assistant.
He won as a
head coach.
He won as an assistant.
He won with the Packers as an assistant.
I thought he won with San Francisco and it says under Mariucci.
I don't believe
No. Mariucci left him. No, Andy Reid went over to Philly. They're all under the Bill Walsh tree or something.
No, did he leave for that?
No, I swear he won as an assistant.
They were all under I'm sorry, they're all under Holmgren.
They all were under Holmgren.
Reid,
Gruden,
all those guys was under Mike Holmgren, and then Andy Reid left and went to Philly.
Yeah,
and he had a nice. I think they had eight NFC East championships
and no Super Bowl wins.
One championship win, which got them to the Super Bowl, and then he goes over to Kansas City. He got average quarterback. And then he gets his guy.
So yes, he
and
won in '96.
This might be the situation where McCarthy gets
as an
his
offensive
guy
line
again.
coach.
Yeah. Right, I told you he won one as an assistant.
Yeah, you said San Francisco under Mariucci. I said he did with Green Bay.
Oh, we're saying as a head coach. The question
was,
head
coach.
That's what we were saying though. Yeah. So I got a sexy stat for you guys before we move on.
Just a meaty stat.
Yeah, it might be a meaty stat. In favor of Mike McCarthy coming here.
Give a stat.
Come on, you know every.
He was a stat.
Actually, he brought me in to make thumbnails. I think. Oh boy, I've upgraded.
Hey, this man got the Thomas Brown of promotion.
Hey, a meaty 5.5, baby.
This man legitimately was brought here to make thumbnails because of his channel. And then he was like, "Well, I got this guy Calvin. He can make them. I got him."
That's right.
He showed up. I'm like,
all right, all part of my plan.
This guy.
No, made a goddamn graphic of nothing. And then barely did stuff.
Got on a show. Got his own show now.
He gave him a show.
Gave him a channel.
Hey, he don't even like the intro.
Don't like the intro. He don't even post on.
I'm very grateful. Thank you very much.
Four different intros. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. Anyway, my quick stat is for Mike McCarthy and him coming here, and you all already know, but David Kaplan actually mentioned it on recap. He's 11-11 in his playoffs, right?
Yep.
50%.
Bears haven't had 22 playoff appearances, I think, dating back all the way to 1984. I'll take that guy.
22.
I'm sorry, 22. I missed the whole thing.
Since 1984.
22 playoff apappearances since
1984. Come on, Joe.
There's a show happening.
There is?
What just happened? He reads the stat. I missed the whole stat. What happened?
Where we at?
Wait a minute, hold on.
Since 1984.
We haven't had 22 playoff games since then?
Bro,
since
I heard that. I heard that.
No. Kaplan mentioned it on his show.
Know my favorite stat? This is Waddle hit me with this stat when I was when I was doing the radio. This is my favorite stat from the Chicago Bears.
Drum roll.
I don't think it works, but
I made the fake drum roll. Let's get to it.
The Chicago Bears have not won a road playoff game since Tommy was playing.
Yes.
Since Waddle?
Since Waddle. Waddle is the last was on the last Chicago Bears team to win a road playoff
because
game.
They won to get to the Super Bowl. They were home against the Saints. And they were 13-3.
Right. Yeah.
And matter of fact, when they were 13-3 and lost in 0-1, the Eagles came, and that's when Hugh Douglas smashed Jim Miller into the ground and tore his shoulder up.
Shout out Steely. He said, "This is why Packers fans hate us. We can laugh through the pain. They just mad and racist through the pain."
You ain't lying. One win. You see the graphic? They didn't even want us jumping in the crowd. Yeah, people.
Hey, dog, that
that's disrespectful.
Hey, I was not putting racism on Shorty at all. She was, hey, you know what? That's a fan of your team.
She
was
like
sitting
she was
there pushing it back. But no, when you make that picture black and white, that's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Like 50 years ago.
But I don't know if the Windy City said it or who said it, but somebody was like, bro, make this picture black and white. And I swear it looked like integrating the schools. And I did it. And I was like, oh, God, dang it.
Bro, that mess was funny.
Oh, man. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit the like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let us know your thoughts. Do you think the Chicago Bears should go all in on Mike McCarthy if he is their favorite option right now? Now, again, he's the only one.